Om Bhurбhuvassuvam Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nः Prachodayantham.
So namaste, hi everyone. Today my guest is Pavel Kalagin, Shivananda Yoga teacher. So hi Paul.
Hi everybody.
Today's topic is peace of mind and yoga and meditation as the tool to achieve this. And of course, when we speak about peace of mind, I'm absolutely sure that that's one of the most important questions for the modern people. And of course, I believe, know for sure that our life directly depends on our peace or absence of this peace in our mind. And so-called objective reality is not so really. And our reaction, our vision is the point. I mean, if something happened, as you know pretty well, different people may react differently. And it's like, well, right now you have extremely hot weather in Brooklyn. And I'm sure somebody can enjoy. Somebody can really cry, really suffer a lot. But so-called objective reality is the same, hot weather. Of course, that's a very simple example, but we have so many events which just happen, and our reaction is pretty much different. And the basic for our reaction is almost actually peace of mind. Then we can stay here now, very famous, stay here now. But what does it mean here now? It means, first of all, we have to achieve peace of mind. So, what can you say? And what actually, because you have almost everyday meditation and yoga classes, I'm absolutely sure that most of the people, they put this question, this topic, like, how can you advise people to work with this?
Yeah, from my point of view, you're speaking about the most important question from all questions. That's what I think, like in yoga. That's basically, it's the key to everything. Closer to, like you said, like not only in yoga, like for all people. If you calm and balanced, like everything is going naturally, like almost by itself. Maybe it sounds a little bit silly, maybe it sounds a little bit unusual, but it goes easy, like somebody is doing it for you, you know. But when you're thinking too much, then you tense, you have much less result. Most of the people, unfortunately, you mentioned it already, then don't realize how important is it, how deep is it, like how what kind of influences it has. Like it's they think it's okay, I'm calm, I'm okay, but to say the truth, he's not okay. Like the mind is always processing, like stomach processing some food, always something going on. And for today, it's like epidemic thing. It's not only in the big cities, even today's, even in the villages, and even the small towns and stuff, people suffering from themselves. Like they taking pills, they taking alcohol and like trying to escape it, like somehow going to bar, you know, like music.
Okay, let me just ask you such a question. Okay, well, almost I believe all politicians, doesn't matter, in the United States, in Europe, in Russia, in China, they actually trying to force people to believe in so-called objective reality, because actually it's really of course, for the politicians and for the social system to exist, they must to convince people in so-called objective reality. Because if people will start to understand that the personal reality is more real, actually, and maybe even only the thing which is existing, then it's very difficult to manipulate. And now I think that maybe, unfortunately, maybe it's just our life, we see that doesn't matter. We can speak about American political system, European, Russian, Chinese, everywhere. Politicians just look like trying to manipulate, and a very foundation, very basic principle is, you know, to convince people that your own personal choice is less important, your reaction is not important. Okay, when people come to your meditation classes, because actually when we discuss any spiritual question with you, the interesting thing is that, okay, you are Shivananda Yoga teacher, and I belong to the Kriya Yoga meditation tradition. But anyway, okay, can you say that you experience this kind of social conditioning when your students may even don't believe in the fact of personal opinion, which can be different from social one? Because I don't think that it's possible to achieve peace of mind unless you really believe that your reaction is the most important one. So what can you say about it?
Yeah, it's an extremely interesting question and very important one. Why? Because when somebody coming to me, like was in my personal experience, let's say it's Steve. I don't see Steve. I see opinion of 1,000 other people in him. I don't see him. You know, like I have some vision, like yogi, because I'm practicing, and through experience, I can see person. But it's very difficult to find actually Steve, to connect with Steve. You know, like it takes me sometimes a month, 2, 3, sometimes a few minutes, but it's not often. Usually it takes time, like maybe 10 classes of meditation where I'm meditating with Steve, not with other politicians, his relatives. He's speaking about his wife telling him things, his kids, the politicians, the workers, the people on the street, from TV, from radio, from everywhere. It's from food, like he's got information from cats, you know, like I see the cat over there. Yeah, it's from everywhere, but it's like a big wall, you know, between him and actually many stuck in information, which is the wall like itself, you know.
I mean, okay, now you're mentioning about really interesting thing that really Steve is in front of you, but okay, spiritually, psychologically, there is not any Steve, but a bunch of conditioning. But I think that the key word here is conditioning. And well, in a sense, some of the conditioning can be good. I mean, if you know traffic rules, well, and if you are following traffic rules, or if you, okay, I hope paying taxes, I mean, that's also conditioning, but it's a good one,
Yeah.
but some conditioning are dangerous, and they're really responsible for most of our problems. And what do you think? Where is that? You know, let me pronounce Sanskrit terminology, which is viveka. Okay,
Yeah.
divine discrimination between what is right and what is wrong. And actually, I came across recently. I mean, some funny people, funny spiritual practitioners who are trying to fight with all kind of conditionings, but it's stupid, impossible.
Yeah.
Even if you go to, stay in the mountains or in the forest, and fight all conditionings. Okay, how to understand? Okay, helpful conditionings, which are just a social rules, and the type of conditioning which we actually must, get rid of and whatever. So how can you explain it for your students?
For my students, it's a combination of things, because just one thing usually not working. Because as you said, viveka, it's like spiritual intellect, you deep intuition. It's almost you. It's almost Atman, almost your real soul. It's like very close to it. It's very complicated thing. It's very deep thing, and it's very hard to use it. And it's actually very few people can use it. In my life, I saw very few people who really like can use viveka. It is hard to do. And I wanted to say the thing right away. I don't judge anybody. That's what that's. I'm speaking pretty much like a little bit hyper even, but it doesn't mean I'm judging the person. He is what it is what it is. Like I'm not like that. I'm not talking about his or she really bad person, a good person. It's not about it. But viveka, it's a huge thing to study. Like it takes many lives sometimes. Like
Okay. Let us just go slightly deeper into Viveka, and let me repeat for the viewers who just again that Viveka means divine discrimination between what is right and wrong, like eternal or maybe illusion, their reality and illusion, and of course, this wonderful ancient term, Sanskrit term, is really essential for the peace of the mind, because, okay, if we don't have this divine discrimination between right and wrong, then we can really fight all kinds of conditioning, and then going to be stupid. But okay, then let us come to the tools which we have both in Shivananda Yoga tradition and a Kriya Yoga tradition. Okay, what tools we actually have to transform student and let to develop maybe this divine discrimination ability of the intellect. And okay, let me say a few words about it, because okay, we have pranayama, breathing exercises. Yeah, which is deeply connected with the functioning of the intellect and the mind, and I know that in ancient traditions we have a very deep understanding. I mean a difference between mind and intellect, because most of the New Age, the spiritual groups, they don't know what is the difference. But if we don't know difference between buddhi in Sanskrit, which is intellect, and a manas, which is a mind, then a huge confusion may happen. So okay, pranayama basically, so breathing exercises, they may pacify many things, including inner dialogue. emotions and increase your vibrations. So it's very simple. It's look like, okay, you're practicing proper breathing exercises and you may change a lot because your emotions, your inner thoughts, dialogues, struggle, I mean, like this, just also become peaceful. And of course, in the case of Kriya Yoga tradition to which I belong, we have a lot of mantras. In the different kinds of Kriya Yoga, I mean, sometimes they even don't like to practice mantras because they think, by mistake, of course, that, okay, that's something Hindu or Buddhist. Not at all. Sanskrit
I have
is
the same
ancient,
thing.
ancient language, yeah. And okay, for example, I'm Christian. I don't feel any problem, and my students, they're Christians, Jewish, and Muslims, no problem to practice mantras. And what interesting that to practice meditation is the most difficult one. Is the most difficult job for the people to practice meditation. And actually, Kriya Yoga tradition, it's basically about meditation. But what I really experience as the meditation master, but people are very enthusiastic to learn meditation, but they can't practice because they're not ready. And it's a very ancient and a classical approach that we have. First start with okay, pranayama, breathing exercises and the mantras, and then maybe later on we can, you know, start real meditation. But anyway, okay, mantras and breathing exercises really bring peace of mind and emotional peace. And then your wonderful example, if whatever person, I forgot, Bill or whatever, Steve, okay, then so-called Steve, okay, appear as a real soul, as a real consciousness, which may, you know, approach life in his or her own way. But the yogic techniques are very useful, and of course, it must be, you know, with certain philosophical ideas as well. So, okay, what kind of techniques can you describe according, okay, with the Shivananda Yoga to which you belong?
Yeah, in Shivananda Yoga, it's few things to help maintain Viveka, and this is asana, proper asana. It means proper exercise for people who doesn't know this word. It's a special exercises in yoga. In Shivananda, it's very important. It's a lot of hatha yoga in Shivananda, as you know.
So physical postures.
Yeah, physical postures. Yeah. Some physical activity, even dynamic meditation, like sun salutation, let's say, Surya Namaskar, like almost everybody knows about it. So it could be dynamic. So any physical work. It's karma yoga helps, because if somebody helps somebody, another person, it also helps the ego less, and he understands himself better in advance. Of course, reading, that's very important thing. Reading is, let's say, holy books, like special books, special texts, special scriptures, at least mentally, to understand what does Viveka means, what does asana means. It's very important in Shivananda. Bhagavad Gita in Shivananda school, like, it's pretty much #1 book. So another thing, of course, pranayama, of course, breathing exercise, of course, mantras, and like you said, and I said it before, it's not for everybody, not right away, because different people, I can't give mantra like stuff, but step by step, from my experience, it's not a big deal. Like almost everybody in advance, even if he's Christian or in my ashram, I'm thinking now, like everybody is listening mantras and using mantras. Like 99%. So we use mantras. We even Om mantra, we singing it together. So it's also calming your mind and tuning your mind. Proper diet, of course. Like I said, like not heavy food, because if you eat too much, and heavy food, you don't think so clear. You don't, you think slower. So and another thing, of course, energy work. Like where I'm giving my energy to them, they giving their energy to me. It's like transforming. So this is also a very important thing. Even if they sitting nearby, it's already kind of meditation. And of course, meditation. We do some combination also. We do mudras, as you know, like it's asana with some luck, with some pranayama together. So it's some combination between asana, pranayama, and mudra. It's very popular.
Actually, it's very interesting that, in both traditions, the Shivananda and Kriya Yoga, so it means if somebody may come and ask this really important question about peace of mind and freedom from conditioning, there is no any one and a simple answer. Actually, it's a combination of many techniques.
It's not exist.
It's
combination, like always.
Combination of like physical postures, breathing exercises, possible mantras. It's not like for sure, because if somebody,
not necessarily,
personal choice about mantras, and then later on meditation. What I like, you mentioned about actually importance of self-education. In a sense, it's important to read proper books, and some of them can be ancient scriptures, and sometimes it can be modern esoteric literature, and of course very important to focus on authentic authors and books. And I mean Swami Sivananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda. So authentic, because there are huge number of books we have, and doesn't mean that we have to eat and digest all of them, because not all of them are really proper and authentic. That's also important. Last video I think we spoke about diet, but that's important question. Diet for the mind. I mean, what kind of books we may let to penetrate into our mind and intellect. So it's like after a bunch of techniques. I think we're going to complete this video for today. And of course, the topic which was for today, the peace of mind in never ending. I think we in the future will come back to this discussion again and again, because it's really a huge question. And so thank you very much, Paul, for your time. I really appreciate that you shared with us many interesting personal experiences as well. And that's a hard job, and let us not to pretend that that's easy job. No, it's not easy job. If we wish serious result, it must be serious job, homework for the student.
You should work hard.
Work hard. That's reality. And in the end of the video, so how can people find you in internet? So I know that your ashram is the location of the ashram is in Brooklyn, New York. So how can people find you? I think just easy, Paul Kalagin, and then they can see your back.
It's like my website, pavelkalagin.yoga.com. Or just Google it, Paul Kalagin. It's very easy, and you're gonna find me for sure. Russian language or English language doesn't matter.
So thank you very much. See you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Om Bhurбhuvassuvaham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayantam